and welcome to an I hope you're still laying down at peace. Maybe now I'll just play with the settings on GarageBand. Let's try doing a megaphone vocal.
Can you hear this megaphone vocal? Hello, everybody. I don't think it's working. Megaphone. Nope. This is called a fuzz vocal. Oops. Does it come across fuzzy? Or is it just because I'm saying fuzz, which sounds fuzzy? Fuzzy, fuzzy. Why would you want a fuzzy vocal?
This is the monster vocal. Don't feel like a monster. We never feel like a monster.
Oh, I'm back. Okay. I don't know if that other one was recording at all. Oopsie. Feel the waves. This is the sound that a dog makes after it poos, and it likes to kick up the grass behind it. That's all. Dry skin. Ooh, that was weird. So maybe I'm done. I might redo the Shavasana part. I feel like that would be better. And this video has just gotten chaotic, but that is me, so okay. Which after comes after that. That was the sound of my carpet emitting out. Ambiance. What is that sound? It's like it's something better than that. I don't know how to do. These are the birds flapping. Me. I kind of want to read a story, but I don't know.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl who lived in a castle. This castle was not your typical castle. The whole castle was made of crystal, clear crystal. But when the crystals were stacked up against each other, all the different refractions made it impossible to see through the walls. You just saw whatever amazing color might be behind the wall, in random shapes. Sometimes, these refractions would form letters from whatever's behind them, and the letters told a story. The princess could realize where the next letter might be and would always like to form puzzles of this. She would receive messages of some sort from these letters, and she never knew what she was supposed to do with those messages. She lived in this castle with a butler and animals, such as a cat, a giraffe, goats, pigs, ducks, swans, and tweeting birds. But that was all that lived there, and she didn't know where to go from there. The grounds of the castle were humongous. So, she lived her days decoding these messages and writing them down in a book. She actually lived her entire life doing that. And the day she passed, she signed her name at the end of the book and left it in the middle of that crystal castle, in an area where you had to see some letters at the front and decode that message in order to know where to find the book. One day, a young boy came along and saw this gigantic land and in the distance a crystal castle. It was odd for him to be on his own, but he was not your ordinary boy. He had magical powers. So he chose to go towards that castle. He felt drawn to it. He walked for 2 days through the forest surrounding the gigantic acreage of the castle. Once he made it there, he saw a letter at the door. The letter was F. He didn't think it meant anything just because of the crystals, and walked in. As he was going about the castle, all of a sudden he saw an eye in bright yellow. You could see it through the crystal wall, and he wondered what was behind that wall. He worked his way around and found a beautiful yellow dress that the princess had used to wear, and was amazed that it looked so much like an eye after all those refractions based on what it looked like in real life. He thought about how there were 2 letters he'd seen already, and continued to wander the castle. All of a sudden he found an N, and later a D, and he thought to himself, F-I-N-D. That spells find. So he must have to find something with these letters. It was so mysterious to him. As he wandered up and up the castle, he found more and more letters until he finally decoded the whole message, which said, "Find the book in the middle of the castle. You might not know how to get to the middle." That would take a lot of letters. Oh gosh. Well, it said, "Find the book where you see the only spot of this castle that is not crystal." He went through the castle, it felt like 10 times, until he came across a black stone. And it seemed to be at the outside of a crystal ball that you couldn't see through. He tried to displace the black stone from its spot, and when he did, it revealed a cavern inside the crystal ball that held this book. Inside the book was the princess's whole life story and all of the messages she had read. The boy actually understood the first message he saw. It had been a prediction about his nation, for he was a prince from a neighboring land. As he read through the book, he realized they were prophecies and guidance to get through all the hard times that they might come across in the next 50 years. He realized that his whole reign, he would know what to do that was best for his country. So he took that book and went back home. There were no monsters, there was nothing he could come across that was in his way. This was just a beautiful moment that changed the course of his whole nation's history. He arrived in his nation and told no one of the book, because they wouldn't believe him and maybe not follow the instructions. And all throughout his reign, he always did what was best for his country. The end.
Okay, all right, okay, good night. Good night. I hope that you have enjoyed this ASMR of Shavasana with a random story about a princess and a prince, and also some random sound effects. Goodbye.